Despite being the center of truTV's popular reality TV series Hardcore Pawn for 4 years, Les Gold, the owner of American Jewelry and Loan in Detroit, Michigan, had a pretty sketchy clientele. Now, it is located in the 8-mile corridor, and that's nowhere near the nicest area of Detroit, but just like the customers in any other pawn shop, most of them was just desperate for some quick cash or a cheap deal on items that they normally wouldn't be able to afford. Since that's the case, pawnbrokers therefore have to be on the lookout for any kind of possible trick that someone may try to pull on them, but customers should watch out too, with the possibility of buying fake jewelry and other items. Now, on Hardcore Pawn, there have been many instances where Les Gold tried to scam the customer, or the customer tried to scam Les Gold into making an outrageous purchase on items that aren't really that valuable. So today we're going to talk about a few of those times where Hardcore Pawn got scammed. But before we do that, make sure to leave a like on the video if you like Les Gold and Hardcore Pawn, and also subscribe for future content just like this. Now, at one point on Hardcore Pawn, American Jewelry and Loan found themselves in a big theft. Not small, big. $1 million theft after nearly purchasing stolen art. But luckily, before any money was handed out, the original owner called Les and everything was cleared up. Because as it turns out, there were two people who came in with the art and claimed that Les Gold was a family friend of theirs to a broker and a good deal on the painting, but in reality, they had never met Les Gold or the family before. But there was a $425,000 put into an escrow account with more money on the way once the deal was finalized. So Les gave the thieves his number for the original owner to call, and come to find out, the thieves gave the real owner a far less than expected amount in hopes of pocketing the difference for themselves. They almost got away with it if it wasn't for the help of pawnbrokers. Now, this next scam is going to show people why you have to be careful about who you hire. The next scam we're going to discuss is money laundering. Now, Hardcore Pawn has had their fair share of verbal and even a couple physical bouts with customers throughout its 9 seasons. And y'all know production halted in 2014, and it was the end of Hardcore Pawn. But although it's difficult to believe that some of the shop's own employees would aid in scamming out their business as well, you want to start believing it. Out of the few people that have been caught, we're going to highlight possibly the worst one out of the bunch, and her name is Christina, a former jewelry counter attendant at American Jewelry and Loan on a season 6 episode based on a backlog of falsified jewelry loans that Christina was writing out more than what she was giving to the customer so that she could pocket the rest of her money for herself. Sounds like the last argument with the people who stole the art. They were looking to pocket some money. But the money that Christina was taking took over a little amount of over $1,000 being stolen from the shop. After being confronted by Les, Seth, and Ashley, Christina was properly escorted out of American Jewelry and Loan by the police in handcuffs. Now, for this scam, you might want to develop your own personal outlook at this specific situation, but one thing's for sure, nobody saw this one coming. With one bad deal after another taking place, Steph and Ashley couldn't help but to point out their father Les Gold's awful purchasing patterns. Eventually, you would have thought Les would have had a bit of luck, referring to the season 7 episode Watch Your Back, where he ended up selling a unique Breitling watch for a massive load of $42,000 to a longtime customer and watch collector. But little did he know, the collector would go back on his word, and rather than paying the $42,000, the man offered 132 cases of watch bands instead, about 40,000 watch bands to be exact. But what happened next was Les' failed attempt to discount the watch bands to customers for a price of $2 a piece. But in reality, Seth put a post on Facebook saying that Les broke even by selling the watch bands to a wholesaler. And that's how we're going to wrap up today's video. Again, if you do like Les Gold and Hardcore Pawn, make sure to leave a like on the video. And if you want more content like this, subscribe and let us know down below in the comment section. And we'll see you in the future videos.